everybody, and welcome back to church through the camera. I am so excited to be coming to you guys, and I miss each and every single one of you guys so much. Now, before we begin, we got a really big question, and it is, what is your favorite thing about your house? For me, my favorite thing about my house is my room because it has my blankets and my bed and my piano, and I love it all so much. Now, do you want to know who else loves their home? Nehemiah. And today, we're going to learn about Nehemiah and his home city and something that happens to it. So pay very close attention because I got some questions for you.
Hi friends, Megan here, and this is Jessie.
Hi.
Jessie, is that what I think it is? Is that the official Koala Karate Squad Dojo Master's Lair we worked so hard to build?
Yep.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, my mom was cleaning in my room and she accidentally knocked it off my dresser. It was an accident. She said she was really sorry.
Oh well, accidents happen, I guess.
Yeah. Mom did say she would help us rebuild it.
Oh good, that was really nice of her. And I'm sure between the three of us, we can rebuild it really quickly.
You think so?
Oh yeah. In today's Bible story, God's people rebuilt something that was broken, the walls around Jerusalem, and they did it quickly.
They did?
Yep. Let's listen to the story before we start rebuilding. Long ago, a man named Nehemiah lived in Persia. Persia was the place where many of God's people stayed after they were freed from Babylon. Some of God's people went home to their country called Judah. Nehemiah was one of God's people. He had an important job in Persia serving the king. One day, some men came from Judah. Nehemiah asked them, "How are God's people doing?" "The people are in trouble," they said. "The walls around the city are broken down, and the gates have been burned down." Nehemiah cried and prayed to God when he heard this bad news. The king saw that Nehemiah was sad. "What's wrong, Nehemiah?" the king asked. Nehemiah said, "The city where my family is from is in trouble. The walls around the city are broken, and the gates have been burned down." So the king sent Nehemiah to Jerusalem to rebuild the city. In Jerusalem, Nehemiah led the people to rebuild Jerusalem's wall and fix the gates in the wall. Everyone in the city worked together on the walls. Before long, the wall was halfway rebuilt. Some men who lived nearby did not like God's people, and they did not want them to have new walls to keep them safe. The men made fun of God's people and made a plan to attack them. Nehemiah did not want the people to be afraid. "God is great and powerful," Nehemiah said. "If our enemies attack us, God will fight for us." So God's people kept working. Some of the men stood guard with weapons, and others worked on the wall. The people were always ready to fight, just in case. Nehemiah was a good leader for God's people. He helped them when they had problems, and he told them to trust God. Before long, the wall was finished. The gates and the walls were fixed, and God's people were safe. The people's enemies were afraid because they knew that God was with his people. Nehemiah helped God's people fix the walls around their city. The walls protected the people from their enemies. Jesus protects us from our enemies. When we know and love Jesus, he keeps us safe from sin, and we will live with him forever.
Okay, everyone, that was a really cool story, right? All right. Now I need you all to put on your thinking caps because I have some questions for you. Now, my first question is, who is the main person in our story today? His name begins with an N. Nehemiah, right. Now, in our story, Nehemiah was feeling kind of sad. Why was Nehemiah feeling sad? Guys, God's people were in trouble. His hometown where he was from, the city walls were knocked down and the gates were all broken. So that made Nehemiah really, really sad. So what did he decide to do? He decided to lead the people to rebuild the walls and fix the gates. How nice is that? Wasn't that pretty cool? Okay, so he was talking to the people, and who did Nehemiah say would fight for the people and protect them? God, because God is so mighty and so powerful, and that made them feel a lot better. Now, my last question is, why were their enemies afraid when they saw that the wall was finished? Because they saw that God was with them and God had helped them rebuild the wall. Isn't that so cool? Okay, in our story, Nehemiah helped God's people fix the walls around the city to protect them. And just like the walls protected the people in the city, Jesus protects us, you guys. And when you know and you love Jesus, he protects you all the time from all your enemies. Isn't that really cool? I think that's pretty cool. Okay, if you have any questions about our story, or if you have answers, or if you have some prayer requests that you want to tell someone, my friend Jeff Hunt would love to hear all about it. So you can get the help from your parents or your friends, and you can send him an email, and I'm sure he would love to read it. Now, my final thing is, do y'all remember that memory verse we've been practicing for the past few weeks? All right, I'm gonna give you a quick second to go over it in your head for 10 seconds. Ready, and go. Okay, now we're gonna go through the memory verse and we're gonna say it all together, all right? It is that Christ died for our sins in accordance with the scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the scriptures. 1 Corinthians 15, 3b through 4. Now, if you didn't get to memorize it this week, that is completely okay, because you've got a few more weeks to memorize it. All right, that is everything I have for you guys. I love you all so much, and so does Jesus, and I hope you all have an amazing week. Bye.